Ian Hunter has been the Minister for Communities, Social Inclusion, Disabilities, Youth Volunteers and a member of the Executive Council in South Australia. He is also an openly gay member in the House of the South Australian Parliament as well as Cabinet. He is noted for his public advocacy of gay and lesbian issues, which at times has conflicted with aspects of government policy. Ian, I was just wondering, do you find being the only gay member of Parliament can sometimes be used as a weapon against you?
Well, you're making a heroic assumption that I'm only the gay member. I'm the only openly gay member, and I'm not trying to put the cats amongst the pigeons. I don't know that there is anybody else, but we shouldn't assume these things. People make their own decisions about when they come out, and I don't make any assumptions about my colleagues in Parliament. And I don't think it's ever been a problem for me in Parliament, certainly not to my face anyway.
Mm. Your partner and you got married in Spain?
Not yet, no,
Not
December.
Yet? In December?
Yeah.
Why Spain?
Well, it's legal in Spain, and there are more options now than there were when we started planning for this, of course. New York came on stream halfway through our planning process, but there are other countries where we can get married as well, Canada. But Spain was an area that we were going to go to anyway for one of our holidays, and so we decided to bring the two together.
So what kind of procedure do you have to go through, paperwork or...?
Just like anybody else, we apply for the paperwork from the federal government, which allows us to go to Spain and say, here's our documentation. We aren't previously married, we're not close relatives, we're both over 18. So we have that documentation coming through, and we just had to find a suitable mayor to marry us.
I was watching the other day the street rally on same-sex marriage. How do you feel about the whole thing now? James Weatherall has come out and said he supports it.
Yeah, well, that's not Jay's first time saying he supports gay marriage. He has done it many times in the past. And just before he became Premier, he made a statement to the media saying that he supports the concept of gay marriage. So having my Premier and my leader out there supporting the gay community in such a way is fantastic, but it's not surprising. This is consistent with Jay's general approach to politics.
Do you feel angry when you're watching the news and the media as far as like the things they show mostly when they're showing same-sex rallies? They show the preachers a lot. Do you find that goes against what same-sex marriage is trying to do?
No, you can't get angry about how the media portrays events. They're looking for colour and movement, and that's just what they do. But I think most Australians know what the context of that is. They know about the issue. They've already formed an opinion about that issue, and that opinion has been shifting in the last 20 years or so. And to our support, that's fantastic.
If gay marriage does become legal, do you think there will be even more protests, like the street preachers coming to weddings, hurting the families that are at the weddings? Do you think that will happen?
No, look, they've got better things to do with their time, I think, and they won't get much coverage. And quite frankly, I don't know that they're allowed to actually invade private functions. I think what you'll see is what happened elsewhere overseas, and nothing much. The world goes on, the sun comes up tomorrow, people's lives haven't been impacted except for those people who can now get married.
It's not often an unsolved murder is thought to have a happy ending, but the killing of Dr. George Duncan might be just the case. On May 10th, 1972, the University of Adelaide law lecturer died, according to the coroner, due to a violence of bashing. The 42-year-old was a brilliant academic who had earned his law doctorate at Cambridge. He'd been in Adelaide only 7 weeks and was seeking out other homosexual men at a gay beat along the River Torrens. I was watching you at the memorial, the 40th memorial of Dr.
Duncan,
drowning, and I watched some film. I read on a website that someone said that he was a martyr for the gay community. Do you think that's a fair comment?
Look, he probably was 20 or 30 years ago. The issue now, of course, is that several generations have come through and have forgotten about Dr. Duncan, have forgotten about 1975, don't even know that Don Dunstan's government decriminalised homosexuality. And that's fantastic that people don't need to worry about that anymore. But I think time has moved on, and it's wonderful that we commemorate his life. But for more and more young people, it becomes meaningless. I think they are after the next big win, which is gay marriage.
Do you think there's a decrease or an increase of gay bashing in Adelaide?
Look, I don't know. I haven't heard any late reports about that. There were a number in the 80s, which used to get quite a bit of attention. I haven't seen much media attention on it recently, but I don't know.
What about the gay bashing that happened to you? Can you expand on that a bit? Because I read something, an interview you did, and you were saying you were bashed in Rundle Mall.
Oh yeah, well, it wasn't exactly bashed. I was spat on and pushed down the stairs by a group of young men, probably five of them, coming out of a cinema with my current boyfriend at the time. And they followed us back to the car, and they were clearly intent on swinging a punch at us. Luckily, I got the first one in and managed to escape.
What year was this?
Gosh, it would be early 80s.
So really it was still a parochial town as far as it got to gay rights then.
Well, no different from what we're seeing anywhere else really around the world. Bashings are happening all over the place, particularly in Africa and Moscow, St. Petersburg. And that is sad, but I don't think there's any great difference.
Thank you very much, Ian, for
Thanks,
this
Glenn.
interview.
Not at all.
Cut.